That's sweet, some fatherly love here. I groaned as someone shook me awake. What the hell? So early. Merry Christmas. After I heard that, I smiled. Wait. Why is she in my house? My eyes opened. Ah. What? Are you not happy to see me? What? No. I sat her and beckoned her to me. She set down her purse and I gave her a hug. I'm very happy to see my one and only on this beautiful Christmas morning. I'm very happy too. She sniffed the air. I would be happy if you put on some deodorant though. She pulled away and I gasped in mock offense. My own girlfriend calling me smelly? However will I recover? Oh, I didn't mean it. She stopped. You're just messing with me, aren't you? I smiled and nodded. She sighed. You're lucky you're so cute. Now it was my turn to get flustered. I didn't expect that. Anyway, I chuckled. Even when she's the one teasing, she still ends up getting embarrassed. You're getting there, Yuri. I'm going to let you get dressed, and then we can proceed with our day plans. Sound good? Day plans? Yes, John. Our day plans. We talked about it over the phone. All right! Sorry, tired brain. She giggled. Well, would you like a refresher? Nah, I know what we're doing. I don't. So, Christmas is tomorrow. Indeed it is. You wanna do anything with me? Or do you want to spend it with your family? You please. Any particular reason why? You're not a jerk or something? I don't have parents, John. You don't? No. I live with my aunt. But she's usually away on business, with this Christmas included. So it's either I spend time with you or I'm alone. I bit my tongue to stop myself from saying a teasing remark. She isn't good with those. I have to remember that. I also feel like this isn't the moment for a teasing remark. Well, alright then. What would you like to do? My schedule's open. Well, first, we should come over and open each other's gifts. Alright. After that, maybe lunch? Sounds good. I'm speaking to myself. Wait. Every restaurant's gonna be closed. It's Christmas. You'll figure something out. Just leave it to me. Okay. I trust you, babe. I heard her blush. You heard it. Still not used to that. She cleared her throat. But after that, I was thinking we could visit the girls and tell them Merry Christmas. Alright. Anything else? I think that's it. Unless you want to cook something. You mentioned something about that. Yeah, I got a ham in the fridge. Great. We can eat that and then just relax for the rest of the night. Maybe watch a movie? Alright, sounds like a plan. Lovely. Farewell, honey. I chuckled and hung up the phone. So now that we have that cleared up, I'll leave you to it. Wait, why don't I... Hey, Yuri? Yes? This might be pushing a boundary. Give me a moment. Okay. But I'll never know until I ask. And I don't want to spend the rest of my life dodging the question. You mentioned that you didn't have any parents. Would you mind telling me what happened? You don't have to. I'm sorry if this dampens the mood at all. No, it's alright. But they're... She cleared her throat. They're gone, John. Like, she nodded. And my heart sank. Oh, damn it. First Monica and now her too? When will I not accidentally bring up dead parents? I'm sorry, babe. It's okay. I'm over it. Plus, how could you have known? Yeah, well, I'm sorry anyway. Apology accepted. Would you mind telling me what they were like? quit pushing it. Well, just parents, really. I love them dearly, of course, but nothing they did really stands out too much. I began to speak, but Yuri cuts me off. Oh wait! There was one thing. Every year my father would take me to the carnival. It was never too far away, so we would always go. She sighed. I would love to go again sometime. We can take you to the carnival, Yuri! She twiddled with her thumbs nervously. But the big crowds freaked me out a little. My mom used to be there and hold my hand the whole time. She said she was happy when I was supposed to be in. I nodded. Anyway, I'm rambling. Would you like your gift? Of course. I flung the covers off. I do remember I had slept in my boxers. Does she have the key to your house now or not? He seemed to be confused over her being in her house. Yuri covered her eyes and left the room in a blind, flustered panic. Huh. Well, I hope her doing that when I'm not wearing clothes isn't a permanent thing. After that thought, I stretched my tired arms and stood up. Shower, shower. My own girlfriend called me a gross slop. Might as well do something about it. I grabbed my phone, turned it on to check the time. It's dead, but I had it plugged in. I checked the cord and the damn thing wasn't even in the outlet. I plugged it back in and it slowly fell back out. Son of a... I bent the pins and plugged it into the wall. Ugh. I need to call Dad about that. I stood back up and grabbed the towel from my closet. What's with his mother? We only bring up his dad. I stepped out of the bathroom, lightly touching my recently combed hair. Gotta look nice for the lady. I grabbed my present from under the bed, opened up my bedroom door, and walked out into the hallway. Yuri, you down there? Yes. I took a step onto the stairs. But don't come down here. I stopped. I'm still getting ready. Go play a video game or something. Alright, babe. I guess I can do that. I looked back into my bedroom, sighing. I guess I can get her gift ready too. He liked this. He has to. Yuri watched the egg as it began to solidify in the pan. She grabbed some cheese and sprinkled it on top. I really hope he does. He's eaten this sort of thing in the past. He had it in his fridge. He has to like it. But maybe his parents bought it? His parents seemingly haven't been at home for weeks, though. Maybe it's expired. Oh no, that's probably it! His parents bought the eggs a long time ago, and he just kept them around. My God, I'm about to poison him! Her fists clenched, and she picked the pan up off the stove. She opened up the trash can, but stopped right before she threw the food in. She sighed. She set it back on the stove. I just wanted to say that's a very long assumption. Relax. He'll like it. Of course he will. She smiled. But what if he doesn't like the gift? You didn't go shopping for it, but sure he'll like the gift anyway, right? Surely. Surely! Yuri, I hate it. You did a terrible job. What? But nothing. You're the worst girlfriend of all time. We're done, freak show. She felt herself grow slightly nauseous. No, that wouldn't... That's so unrealistic! But it... She flapped her hands around nervously. That wouldn't happen. It wouldn't! She flexed her hand and took a deep breath. She turned off the stove. How much time do I have? She told Sean that she would call him down when she was ready. I'm okay! She set her arm down on the counter to balance herself. She felt dizzy. She reached into her back pocket and inhaled deeply. She pulled out her handkerchief. She fumbled with the soft material until she held the stained blade. It was cold, like hell on a bad day. She pulled back her sleeve and stared at an arm riddled with scars. What's one more? It will be practically unnoticeable. She inhaled, held her breath, and swiped the blade along a clean section of her skin. Her dizzying came back in full force, and she felt herself clutching onto the countertop. She exhaled quickly, clearing her lungs out of the heavy air. And there it is, that rush. Her head felt lighter, and her pupils dilated. But after a few moments it went away. Her breathing slowed as she gradually came back down to earth. She closed her eyes and inhaled deeply. She exhaled and opened her eyes. She put the handkerchief back in her pocket and went to grab her purse. Shoot! It's upstairs. She left it there when she went to wake up John. Shoot! I don't want to risk going up there with a bleeding arm. Surely he has some medical supplies in the kitchen. She looked around, but upon not seeing anything at a first glance, decided to open a few cabinets. After finding some dishes and a box of cereal in an odd place, she opened up the cabinet underneath the sink. There we go! She pulled out a white and red box from the back part of the cabinet. It clearly hadn't been used in a while, but she doubted antiseptic expired. She removed her necessary supplies and began to clean up her wound. Everything went well, but unfortunately she had to use the last of the bandages. I'll have to replace those in secret. I don't want him to get worried. She put the box back in the cabinet and looked around. Nothing had happened. Nothing had changed. Everything was okay. Everything was calm. Yuri was calm. She grabbed the cup and filled it with tap water. With tap water. Today is going to be hard, Yuri. It's going to be stressful. You're going to get nervous, flustered. You cannot do that again. That has to be it for today. It's not normal. You're not normal. But just try to act normal. For his sake. Now, back to breakfast. She turned the stove back on. I'm glad I remembered to turn this thing off. Damn it! I clutched the controller tightly. This level is ridiculous! John, please come down here. Oh, I guess it's time. I set down the controller, turned off my game console, and shut down the television. I then reached under my bed and pulled out a rather large box. Perfect. Coming! I opened up my bedroom door, backside first, and struggled as I carried the heavy present. I walked into the kitchen after setting my present on the counter. Yuri was setting the table. Wait, did you make breakfast? She nodded happily and cleared her throat. Yeah, I did. She walked up to me and gave me a hug. Merry Christmas, she whispered. Again. I chuckled. Merry Christmas. She pulled away from me and presented her meal. This is what's called an omelette de fromage. Fromage. I don't know. What now? It means cheese omelette. Oh, my bad. It's quite alright. I didn't expect you to know much about French. Well, now I feel stupid. Anyway, how about we eat this and then open the gifts? Sounds good. I sat down at the table and Yuri served 2 omelettes. One on her plate and one on mine. She sat down across from me and began to eat her meal. She seemed to be enjoying it. It needed something else though. I stood up and went to my fridge where I grabbed out a familiar red bottle. I don't care what you say. Ketchup belongs on eggs. I don't judge. I'm the one to judge weird food combinations. I remember the time I ate like a mixture of like mini sausages and I had like some Milka chocolate next to it. And I ate them both basically at the same time. Well, I was on the PC playing something, but I was just so hungry for it. I don't know. So I'm not one to judge like weird food combinations. I don't have permission to do so after what I've done. I'm destroying my table over here. Ketchup belongs on eggs. I open up the bottle and put a rather large amount all over the thing. Did you just put ketchup on your omelette? Yeah, why? Well, that's what I'm asking you. Why did you put ketchup on it? I have no issue with it, it just confuses me. So please enlighten me. I chuckled and cut off a piece of my food. You act as if this is some kind of thesis or something. I just like ketchup on my eggs. I saw my mother do it when I was young and just gave it a shot, you know? Haven't looked back since. I took a bite of the food. Damn, that's really good. I'm not sure what I expected, but thank you for humoring me. Hope you continue to enjoy ketchup with your eggs, sweetheart. I smiled. I'm mostly just surprised you haven't done it. Why is that? I figured it was a well-known thing. Would you like to try it? Well, I don't know. I've never eaten my eggs with ketchup before. You shouldn't like put it all over the egg because it might not be your thing, but like they can like try a little bit. Never know until you try. No offense, but the concept is rather strange. I don't particularly think so. It's just not my thing. How have I eaten worse? I promise it's really good. I wouldn't lie about ketchup. She seemed to be thinking it over. I know it's a little out of your comfort zone, but all I can ask is that you take one bite. I held up a piece of my omelette, ketchup and ketchup and all. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. She twirled her thumbs. Oh, what the hey? It's Christmas. She had a bite right off of my fork. After a few seconds of chewing, she suddenly realized what she had done. She choked. She coughed and momentarily panicked. Hey, are you okay? Yes. She wiped her mouth with a napkin. Sorry, I didn't mean to eat your... You didn't mean to eat it directly off the fork, did ya? Well, I wouldn't have known, Yuri. You've always seemed like the romantic type. What? The poor girl couldn't take all of this. I smiled and grabbed her hand. Relax, Yuri. It's Christmas. I cut off another section of my omelette and held it up to her. Live a little. Be the romantic I know you can be. I don't know if that's... Please. I tilted my head like a puppy. I'm currently doing real life. No one can see. Fine. She hesitantly put my fork in her mouth. She was clearly flustered, but she went through with it. Thanks. Softly, she smiled and then nodded. After breakfast, we continued to sit at the table. It was nearing time to open presents. Enjoyment and happiness was impending. Maybe even love. Okay. Would you like to go first? Or me? I guess I can go first. I stood, walked over to the counter and grabbed my wrapped gift. It's not very heavy or big, but I know she'll like it. I pressed the wrong button. I set the gift on the table and turned back to Yuri. She had her own present, nearly the same size as mine. I handed it off to her and she began to open it. I wonder what it could be. She tore off the wrapping paper and turned the box around to read the labels. She gasped. A knitting set. It's exactly what I wanted. I knew it would be knitting! How did you know? I shrugged. I saw your knitting needles. Figured you could use a new set. Well, I did. So thank you. How much did this cost? It couldn't have been cheap. Well... That'll be 10,032 yen. I gulped. That's not important. Do you like it? She nodded. I love it. She put down the set and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Holy shit. Anyway, would you like to open mine? I nodded, still holding the spot where she kissed me. She handed it off, and after I grabbed it, I took my hand away from my face. I tore off the wrapping, finding what seems to be just a plain cardboard box. More square than cube, though. I took the top off and stared lovingly at a book. A book. I took it out and read the title. Mural of Markov. Well, I can tell what it is. But that name is a little on the nose. It's the sequel to Portrait. They were just calling a portrait and all that. I figured we could read it together, like we did before. If you want to, of course. I would be happy to. Thank you, Yuri. She nodded and grabbed another box from her lap. 2? Uh-oh. Yeah. Don't feel bad for getting me two things that... For not getting me two things. This was my own elective decision. Well... Alright then. I grabbed the box, took off the wrapping, and removed the top of the box inside. Same wrapping. Inside the box was... a knit... something. I grabbed it out and curiously examined it. Oh! It's a sweater! A grey sweater! I knew it! Wait a minute. She's been knitting something grey for these past few days, hasn't she? Yuri? Yes? Did you make this? She turned bashful. Sorta. It's something that I've been working on for a while, but I thought you might like it, so I basically just repurposed it. As she rambled on, I stared at the gift. So what if it didn't start out as a gift for me? It still ended up being for me. And it's still from Yuri. Something she put her blood, sweat, and tears into this. I just bought her some knitting gear. She's just rambling on in the background. I'll definitely wear this. I held it up to my face. It's so comfy. I inhaled. Coconut. The smell of my girlfriend. Oh, look at the color. I turned it around some and close looked at the collar. And there it was. It was the same color as the sweater itself. Grey, but it stuck out. Oh, why for Yuri and then a heart. Aww! I smiled at her. Thank you, Yuri. Genuinely. I think this is the best Christmas I've had in years. I put in the sweater. Well, you're welcome. I shared the same sentiment. Me and Yuri looked into each other's eyes. Slowly we leaned closer, over the table, pushing breakfast out of the way. It was the last thing on our minds. We got closer. Oh, god damn it! Some ringing. Yuri practically collapsed in on herself, and I stood up to get this stupid landline. I grabbed the phone off the wall. Hello? I'll admit I was a little grumpy. Hey, wait. What's up, boy? Oh, hey, Dad. All dads sound the same. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So, how are you doing, bud? Oh, well, pretty good, actually. I've been having a pretty good day. Well, I tried calling your phone, but it went to voicemail. So I'm guessing that you've been distracted. You have a girl over or something? Wait, you do, don't you? I nodded before I realized that he couldn't see me. Yeah, I do. Who is it? Is it that girl you were confused about a while ago? Purple or chocolate hair? Purple. Oh, nice. You said she was hot, right? Dad! I blushed. I never said that. But it's true, isn't it? I turned my head to look at Yuri. Certainly very beautiful. Honestly, I really like this smile. I don't know why. The longer I sometimes look at their faces, the cuter the faces seem to be to me. Like even like with the other girls, when I just look at their faces for a longer period of time, I'm like, wow, this is so adorable. Yeah, it's true. See, that's what I thought. Yeah. Look, I'm sorry I couldn't come down to... It's alright! I interrupted. I'm used to it. Well, yeah, but that's not a thing you should be used to. It's fine. I have to get going, okay? I frowned. There's a present coming for you in the mail soon. I hope you like it. I love you. I love you too. I hung up the phone and sighed. Another Christmas, another year Dad has to stay at work. I rubbed the bridge of my nose, so I'm assuming something happened with his mom too. Come on, John. Let's boost that morale a bit. No need to make Yuri worry. That rhymed. Okay, I can't see it, I'm sorry. Who was that? It was my dad calling. Want to wish me happy birthday and everything. You mean Christmas, right? Yeah. Sorry, brains are working. Yuri giggled. That's understandable. There was an odd silence. So, what do we want to do? Well, our lunch plans don't need to be worried about for a few hours. So what do you want to do in the meantime? She grabbed my hand and led me to the living room. She walked us over to the couch and basically threw me down. I raised an eyebrow at the forcefulness. She slowly lied down on top of me and pulled a nearby blanket over us. Can we just do this? I want to be the romantic I know you can be. She smiled nervously. I smiled a little less nervously and rubbed her head. Sure. Happy to be here. I grabbed the nearby remote, turned on the television and muted the volume. I turned back to Yuri and she seemed to be having trouble keeping her eyes open. Wow, how much sleep did you... Wow. How much sleep did you get last night? About an hour. I feel my heart inflate and resist the urge to clutch it. Too cute. This reminded me for some reason of something else. I wrapped my arm around her fully and held her close. I never want to let her go. A few hours later, I woke up groggy. Something heavy was on my chest. I blinked away the fogginess in my eyes and focused on said heavy object. A girl with purple hair. Yuri. My stomach dropped. I hoped and prayed to God that me calling her heavy was just a fleeting thought, and not a murder. I rubbed my forehead and looked over at the clock on the wall. 12:34. We were supposed to go to lunch, right? Yuri said she would think of something. I don't know her plans. I looked back at her sleeping face. But I can't find out by just cuddling her. I shook her softly. Hey, Yuri. I shook her with a little more force. Yuri. Wake up, babe. Her eyes slowly fluttered open. She smiled. Good morning. Morning? I chuckled. Even if it's technically the afternoon. Semantics. She said and giggled. Maybe. The smile disappeared. What? It's the afternoon, yes? Yeah? I raised an eyebrow. Why? What time is it? Around 12:30. Reservations are at 13. Oh crap! I quickly sat up and Yuri climbed off of me. And so I slowly began to panic. How far away is the restaurant? It's about 20 minutes away by foot. How fast is it by bus? I'd rather we not take the bus. We can make it by foot if we hurry. Well, wait a minute. What's wrong with the bus? I noticed that she had tried to quickly change the subject. I just don't like it, okay? Please don't force me to take the bus. I waved my hand. I'm not gonna force you to do anything, Yuri. You don't want to take the bus? We won't take the bus. She sighed in relief. Thank you. I nodded and grinned. Of course. So, are we ready to go? Yuri brushed down her sweater. When she finished, she turned her head back towards me. I'm all ready. I think I am too. Ah, crap, I'm still in my pajamas. I quickly went upstairs to change. Hurry, Curry! I hopped off the last step in my new outfit. I ditched my Foo Fighters tee for a plain shirt, my pajama pants for some blue jeans, and I combed my hair one more time just to make sure my mug look just to make my mug look that slight bit better. I don't know where the shirt came from. I kept the sweater though. It was a gift and it's special to me, so it stays. I walked up to Yuri, who was impatiently standing by the door. She tried not to show, but I could kind of tell. Ready to go? She jumped slightly. Yes! Let's get going. We should have enough time to make it. Cool. I opened up the front door. Ladies first. Such a gentleman. Yuri walked past me and out the door. I followed. As I felt the cold air on my face, I took a deep breath. The air is clean and nice. And the sky is surprisingly clear for a day like this. Usually there's some form of overcast, but no. God must want this day to go well. I locked the door and turned back to Yuri, who stood waiting. Lead the way. She nodded and grabbed my hand. Once again, she was leading me somewhere I'd never been. Hopefully, it's as good as the park. But I feel like that'll be a little hard to top. Wait, hold on! I ran back to the house to quickly unlock the door. I ran upstairs and into my bedroom. I reached into my desk drawer and pulled out a wrapped gift. I can't believe I almost forgot. I quickly rushed back downstairs and out the door. I closed and locked the door. What's that? It's a present for Sayori. I walked over to her house and Yuri followed. I knocked on Sayori's door and waited. You barely have any time! Come on, you lazy girl. The door opened. Hell. Oh, hi, John. Hell. She gave me a hug. Merry Christmas! I have your gift right here. And I have yours. Merry Christmas. She handed me a square thin box and I handed her mine. You first. I nodded and tore open the wrapping. It was a manga I had been wanting for a while. Oh, cool. Thank you, Sayori. I smiled. That was a good gift. It's no problem. Alright, now do yours. We don't have time! Hurry up! She turned to the box, chilled. I wonder what it is. She tore it open quickly. No time wasted as usual. She pulled out a new bow and a book. Book of bittersweet short stories? She gasped. You remembered. I nodded. Of course I did. And as usual, you've included a bow. She took off her red bow and with a practice form, she put it in her new one. Put in her new one. A blue bow. I love it! Thank you, John. This is the best Christmas gift ever! This is the best Christmas ever! I jokingly rolled my eyes and snickered. You say that every year. Wait, I do? I shook my head. Never change, Sayori. Well, hey, that's my line! She playfully punched my shoulder, but afterwards she hugged me again. I'll see you later, John. Hope you enjoy your date with Yuri. And Merry Christmas, Yuri! She waved to the girl that was trying to hide behind me despite her being taller and bigger. But not in the fat way. Merry Christmas. Sayori nodded to herself, clearly content. Bye-bye. Farewell. See ya. She closed the door and we were left standing under her porch. I turned back to Yuri and grabbed her hand. Let's go. She nodded, smile on her face. So you mentioned that you got her a bow as usual. Do you guys gift each other things like that often? Of course. You really are close with her, huh? Definitely. I've known Sayori for years. We're practically family. She'll always be my dearest friend. You almost looked relieved at my answer. Maybe a bit of jealousy there. I'm very happy you have such a good friend. So Yuri is a very sweet girl. I chuckled. You sound like my mom. Is that bad? I shook my head. Nah. My mother wasn't a very nice woman. Good. Thank you then. I nodded. Of course. I grabbed her hand. Again. Now, let's actually get to lunch. Oh no, you're right! We gotta hurry! Yuri began to jog, dragging me along with her. Oh joy. Exercise. Carry him on your shoulders or something. Piggyback. Yuri should quit jogging and instead settle for a fast walk. She must not be too used to exercise either. Bookworm. Anyway, we've been walking through the suburbs for a while. Nearly out though. I'm exhausted. I need to exercise more. It's been 20 minutes by foot, alright? We're nearly there. I groaned internally. Sounds good, babe! Kill me. When I was running to get flowers for, her, I at least had adrenaline to go off of. But goddammit, Yuri! But goddammit, Yuri wants to hold my hand and walk at a brisk pace. I'm not against that. But it's just killing all of my energy. And finally a change of music. We're here. Wherever this is. Seems to be some fast food restaurant, but the lighting is giving me a completely different vibe. It's like someone tried to make a normal restaurant fancy. It's not a bad thing. It's not bad or anything, but it just feels off. Also, Yuri? Yes? It's Christmas Day. How the hell did you get into this restaurant? It should be closed, shouldn't it? Well, what's up, guys? Wait, what? Wait, what? Natsuki, what are you doing here? I turned to Yuri. I figured this would be a date. What? You're not a fan of me being here? That's not what I said. Yeah, I get it. She waved a hand, effectively silencing me. Merry Christmas, Yuri! Natsuki said, sounding purposefully uncharacteristic. Ugh. Oh, Merry Christmas to you as well, Natsuki. As I practically light up at what Natsuki had said. This better not be some act on Natsuki's part. Thanks! So, why are you here? I asked bluntly. You never answered me. Jeez, so damn impatient. My father owns the restaurant. I just work here sometimes. You have a job? I asked. That was a little mean. Hey, you're lucky I'm allowed to have you two here. You're lucky I'm allowing you two in here. Do you think any other restaurant will be open for you on Christmas? Sorry, what's your tone if I were you? I slowly inhaled and then slowly exhaled. Calm down. Don't ruin Christmas for petty crap, John. I apologize for acting that way. I'm still just a little curious. Would you mind if I asked some general questions? Sure. Why are you open? Oh, well, that's easy. Me and Yuri made a deal. I turned my head back to Yuri. You did? What was the deal? Well, Yuri's incredibly hesitant to describe the deal. What the hell did she agree to? Fine, I guess I'll do it. I open up the restaurant, and she has to fully read a manga series of my choice. A series? Natsuki nodded. A series. Oh my god. And Yuri, you agreed? Just so we could eat lunch? I did what I had to do. I was staring intently at her. My god. Anyway, why don't you two take a seat? I can get you guys some drinks and you can enjoy your day. I nodded but did a double take. Sorry to ask all of these questions. She groaned. But don't you want to enjoy the day? Sure, you can hang out with your dad on Christmas. No, I can't. He decided to take a vacation to America with his girlfriend. Oh, without me. I see. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's okay. I'm used to it. Anyway, Enough about me! Go take your seats, and I'll be back out with a notepad to write down your drinks in a jiffy. She'll be our waiter? Cool. Natsuki pointed to a table and went off in the direction of what I presume is the kitchen. I nodded and turned to Yuri for the final time. Shall we? Let's shall. I chuckled and nodded my head at a nearby table. Yuri sat down first and I sat down across from her. I stared at her beautiful purple eyes and began to feel my head drift, like the world took a back seat to everything. I quickly snapped myself out of it. That was weird. What do you mean? Her face is cute. I wasn't even focusing on her eyes. I just felt myself leave my own head. I shook said head. You look like you're going through a lot. It's only been 8 seconds. I chuckled. Sorry. Zone out. She nodded and giggled. That sounds a lot like you. I grinned. Sure does. Okay! Oh, Jesus! I turned to face Natsuki. You scared me. Oh, did I? I shook my head. Of course. Anyway. Yeah? She waved around a notepad. What do you guys want to drink? Right. Well, what do you have? We have Sprite, Croak, Fanto. Yeah. Copyright? Spite. I've seen other mods use say at least like one of these words. I'll just take a spite, please. She nodded and wrote something down. And for the lady, just some water, please. Water. She muttered, writing something. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. She walked off but didn't get far. All right. She turned back around. You guys have cash, yeah? I raised an eyebrow. Cash? Why cash? Part of the deal was that I get fully paid in cash. I felt my heart up to my feet. Yuri, babe. I don't carry cash. Oh, I know. I went and got some from the bank. When did you have time to do that? My bank is open 24 hours. I got it yesterday. Well, that's convenient, I guess. Wait a minute! Yes, honey? Are you trying to tell me that you plan on paying? Yes, why? It's our first date and you're paying? Yes. Is there a problem with that? I mean, kinda. It just goes against what I was taught growing up. The guy always pays on the first date. She giggled. What's so funny? It's hardly our first date. We've been over to each other's houses plenty of times. I consider those days. I do too, I guess. But this is our first restaurant date. At least let me pay you back. She shook her head. No way. I'll let you get the next one then. Fine. I threw my hands into the air. Internally, at least. Just allow people to pay. If they have the money, then they have the money. So am I getting paid in cash or not? Yes, Natsuki. She chuckled softly. You will be paid. Sweet. Well, that's that. That's all. I'll be back in a moment. She walked off, finally going to get our drinks. Wait! Yuri turned back around. Her expression was angrily. Yeah? What are your wine selections? A wine? The wine? What the hell? Since when do you drink? I don't really. Well then why? But since it's a special occasion, I figured I would be okay. She chuckled. I'm not going to become an alcoholic anytime soon, so you don't have to worry. I'm less worried and more just confused. I shrugged. But whatever. If you want it, you can have it. It's no skin off my back. It's no... Well, good. She turned to Natsuki. And I know it's not exactly legal to serve alcohol to someone underaged. But surely my good friend can give me the hook. Oh! I chuckled. You mean the hookup? Yes. She faced Natsuki again, who seemed to be considering something. Sure. We've beaten this to death, but it's Christmas. You can have whatever you like. Now, our selection is rather varied, so would you like a... I tuned the conversation out. I didn't know anything about wine. I didn't know the differences between Merlot and Malbec. Or a Malbec? I don't know anything about wine either. I don't drink fucking anything alcoholic. I drink water and tea. Although I would be interested in maybe drinking some orange juice again sometime, but generally, water and tea is my usual selection of anything. And what the hell does it mean when a wine has the prefix pinot? I don't know. Alright, sounds good, Natsuki said, interrupting my musings. She then walked off, presumably to get the drinks. I turned my attention back to Yuri. Finally, we're alone. Unconsciously, I frowned slightly. Are you not happy about Natsuki being here? Are you not happy about Natsuki being here? She whispered, practically reading my mind. I was, yeah. I whispered back. I'm really thankful she allowed us to be in her restaurant, don't get me wrong. But I just wish she could tone down the snark. I practically got into a fight with her as soon as we walked in. Yuri read my feelings and intertwined her fingers with mine. She lightly squeezed my hands. I know. She's not exactly the best company for when we want to have a relaxing date. No offense to her. I smiled softly at her words. Never the rude one, are you, Yuri? But I get what you're saying. Let's just try. Let's just try to keep positive, okay? It's a special day today. She smiled a broken smile. You're trying to do what I do, aren't you? Did it work? Oh. I don't know. I burst out laughing. Ah, man. That was a bad laughter. Let me try again. Oh god, my god! There you go! I really needed that. Yes, Yuri. Yes, it worked. I'm sorry for laughing, but man, that was too funny. The only funny thing was, for me, was I'm glad my efforts to make you feel better were so funny. She winked. God damn. I'm not used to her actually teasing me. Anyway, she lowered her voice. Let's have a good time, okay? Just try your best to ignore her. Just try your best to ignore her. That sounds wrong, but let's just be thankful we could spend the day together. She kissed my hand. Bleh. Bleh. Natsuki! Yuri put a hand to her head. You have to stop sneaking up on us like that. That's twice now. Sorry. She wasn't sorry. But I have your drinks. Yuri set down a glass of dark red liquid. And a plastic cup of what looks like fizzy water. Perfect. Now, do you guys... Oh god. Now, do you guys know what you want to eat? Or have you not even bothered to look over the menu yet? I frowned, but then I felt Yuri squeeze my hand twice. I took a deep breath. That second thing. Oh, for the love of Natsuki whispered and then took her own deep breath. Well, the menu on the wall isn't accurate to what I can serve you. So I don't blame you for not knowing what you want. But just say something you like and I'll see what I can do, okay? I am a pretty good cook. Well, though, do any of you have any food allergies? I don't want anybody dying on me. I don't have any. I am allergic to peanuts. Oh, cool, good to know. but otherwise not. Good to know. Thank you, Yuri. She wrote something else down. Now, what are your orders for Master Chief Natsuki? Damn it. Now I blank on what I want to eat. Can you make custodon? Sure can. Or katsudon? Katsudon. Went on a shopping trip yesterday and picked up all sorts of ingredients for stuff like that. Chicken or pork? Pork. She wrote something down on a notepad. Again, presumably the order. Yeah, probably. Rice or noodles? Rice? Since when is katsudon served with noodles? Who knows? There are different variants you can always take. Alright. She turned to Yuri. What about you, Sugar? How about just the chicken salad? Like the mayonnaise kind? Or just a salad with chicken? Salad with chicken. You got it! Natsuki wrote something down on her piece of paper and then walked off. I guess she's gonna go make our food now. Sweet. I watched as Yuri took a sip of her drink. She lightly smacked her lips as she savored the taste. Tried to deduce the taste? I guess the latter, but I really don't know. Might as well say something though. What does it taste like? Oh, the wine. I nodded. Is it good? She nodded enthusiastically. I actually really enjoy it. I tried to get something I'd never had before, which doesn't usually go well. I'm a picky eater. I also kind of relate to that a little bit. But can you Natsuki in the background? I feel like something sounded like Natsuki. But I had heard this one wasn't bad, so I figured I might as well give it a shot. She took another sip. Sorry. But yeah, we can hear like chopping in the background. The taste itself seems to have more hints of something almost floral, which isn't too out of the ordinary, along with, well, grapes, given it's a red wine. But while the taste is nice, there isn't really much kick to it. Most likely hasn't been aged for too long. Though I taste hints of fog, so it was definitely stored in a barrel. What's confusing though is why they would have it in a barrel long enough to leave the imprint, but not leave it in long enough to make it stronger. She shrugged. Or maybe it's supposed to be like that. It tastes good, so I wouldn't think about it too hard. Holy hell. She can pick all of that up from a few sips. Honestly, are we sure that she doesn't drink wine often? Sorry? How's your spite? It's spite. But how did you do that? Do what? Describe the taste like that. You said you tasted oak. Who the hell can say they know what oak tastes like? It's really interesting that you know that stuff. Oh, well, thank you. But it's nothing too impressive. It's all just stuff you pick up when you... Well, she trailed off. She does drink more wine than this, doesn't she? When you what? Have been drinking wine. Like I have. How do you mean? Yuri, how long have you been drinking wine? I started drinking the occasional glass of wine with my books when I was around 16. Oh, well, your brain will probably... I mean, wine does not have that high percentage of alcohol, right? I don't know. I don't know fucking shit about it. Except that a lot of wine has some type of alcohol in it. Still, your brain probably isn't very happy about that. Your brain development. Oh well. That's not too bad. Would be worse if she was like 12 or something, of course. I'm glad you haven't been drinking since you're like 12 or something. Oh heavens, no! I know the dangers alcohol can pose to one's health and body. I didn't try drinking any until I knew I was mature enough to handle it. Given what I've seen from other 16-year-olds who were drinking, 16 years old are not able to handle it. On the other hand, I've never really met anyone personally that's actually really good at handling it. So you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. You've already said that. And you know what? I shrugged. I won't worry. You're practically a fully grown woman. You can do what you want, and you're responsible enough to make your own decisions. If I stop you, what does that make me? What? Frankly? I chuckled. It just makes me a dick. She giggled. So just enjoy your wine. I think I will. She took another sip. Yep, definitely floral. How can you tell? I took a sip of my own drink. Do you eat flowers? She giggled again. God, I love that sound. It's actually something called terpenes when it can be found in plants that can be found in plants' essential oils and grape skin. These terpenes have a very distinct floral aroma, then that translates into taste. So, when a wine tastes floral, you know it was made with the actual grapes. Holy crap. Though saying that the wine tastes floral isn't exactly anything new. Most wines do taste floral. And that's because of the terpenes, right? She nodded. That's right. All wine is made with grapes, so all wine has terpenes. She took a small sip. But this one does have more to it than just grapes, which is why it's interesting. It's what makes all wines interesting. If they all tasted like grapes and flowers, it would be a little boring, right? The conversation slowly died out, but I feel like it ended on a good note. Until I decide to open my mouth again, because I can't stand happy silence. I've seen yellow wines before. What's the difference between those and the red ones? Different types of grapes. Different types of grapes, you drill bit. Why did you ask that? That's actually because some wines use different types of grapes than others. The red ones use red grapes, and the yellow ones use green. I myself prefer red wines. Why's that? I'm not fully sure myself. It might be because of the stronger taste. Right. Well, that actually makes sense. The conversation once again went silent, until she grabbed my hand. Wine is something I really like. She rubbed her thumb on the top of my hand. So I'm glad you're willing to learn some stuff about it. I nodded and smiled. Of course. I really like when she gets passionate like that. When she can just let go and talk about stuff like she likes. It really makes her personality shine. Oh! Now I know why I asked what the difference was. Because I just wanted to hear her talk. I'm hopeless. That's cute. I set down my fork and exhaled. That wasn't bad. Natsuki really is a good cook. All done? I nodded. Even if I wasn't, I don't think I could eat anymore. Rice is pure carbs, so it's pretty filling. She nodded. That it is. I smiled. You know, I started. I'm glad we... You guys aren't eating it! I stopped and frowned. Yeah, we are! And good luck at the Bad Timing Awards! Yuri giggled and grabbed my hand. Tell me later, okay? She squeezed. I'll always listen. Thanks, babe. Natsuki walked up to our table and set down a check. I picked it up and read it over. 30% off? I looked up at her. What's that about? She turned bashful. Yeah. Since you guys are my friends, I gave you a bit of a discount. Don't make a big deal out of it, okay? And don't even think about telling your other friends. I put my hands up. Whoa, hey. I won't tell anybody. Good. But I do really appreciate it. I smiled. I told you not to make a big deal out of it, dummy. Clean the crap out of your ears. I blinked. I would also like to thank you. It means a lot that you would do that for us, Natsuki. Jeez, you guys are insufferable. But you're still my friends. So you being thankful for my existence makes sense. Not everybody ends up with the right to be called my friend. I smirk. She can be charming sometimes. I'll admit it. Anyway, before we finalize the payment, did you guys want any dessert? Oh, yes, actually. Yuri spoke up. Do you have any pina colada ice cream? Pina colada ice cream? That's only specific. But I'm afraid we don't have any of that. Yuri frowned. It's mostly just various kinds of cake. I'm okay then. What about you, John? I'm not hungry. No desserts then. Alright. Pay up! Yuri pulled out her wallet and handed Natsuki the money. I still felt guilty for not paying. I'm the guy, damn it! Nobody cares! I know she said I could get next, but I should stop being so damn insecure. Exactly! It's completely fine. Whoever has the most money should pay, and if they're like somewhat equal, then you can like split. I mean, of course, there might be situations which you can be like, you pay here, this one pays there. But like, she's the one with the money right now, so allow her to pay. I'm not any less of a man because I didn't pay on the first date. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Right. Right! Stand up and Yuri follows. We ready to rock and roll? Mm-hmm. She turns and to face the pink-haired one. The pink-haired one. Merry Christmas, Natsuki. Thanks again for letting us have our date here. Yeah. Thank you. Of course. Now get going. You guys are bringing down the property value. I would take some form of offense, but the smile she had on her face showed that she was just joking. I sighed internally. I can never tell with her. I drank some water. I waved to her, and we began to walk out of the restaurant. Farewell. The door was opened, and I had nearly stepped out when Yuri stopped me. Actually, can you please wait here for a second? Sure. But what's up? I have to powder my nose. Powder your... Oh! Yeah, no, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll be right here. She nodded thankfully. Thank you very much. Hey. We've been dating this long and she's still embarrassed to say that to say she has to use the bathroom. Well, actually, me and you haven't been dating for very long. Huh. It sure feels like more time has passed. And that's either a good thing or a bad thing. But you know what? I'm gonna say it's a good thing. It means that there is all the more time I can spend with this girl. And that's a pretty damn good deal to me. I can't tell if she was harming herself or if she was vomiting again. After around 10 minutes, Yuri came back. No wonder she was embarrassed to say she had to go. I probably would have been... okay getting off this topic. Oh, so things a bit longer. If it was vomiting, I was thinking back to the story with like Monica, like they ended up together in high school and then they grew up, even though one of them was like a nerd and the other was like more like Yuri, and one of them then died of breast cancer. Like the Yuri mother like figure died of breast cancer. I'm not too sure, but I know it can give nausea, like specific cancer types can give nausea. I'm pretty sure it was like that. I don't know if you can throw up from it. I don't really want to make any comment on that, but I'm kind of concerned that she might have cancer. That it might be like replicating the story in some way very closely. It is called Tropical Rain, and rain could be either like somewhat nicely, but could also be like a bit sad, or I don't know. Okay, getting off the topic. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to think about that. I grabbed Yuri's hand and pushed open the door for us. And I was instantly hit with the blinding sun and the loud noises. Ah, damn it! Does Natsuki have tinted windows or something? Why did I think it was nighttime? To be honest, I kind of thought of it for a moment too. I pulled out my phone. 1533! God damn it! Well, my sense of time was just completely thrown off. Did you also think it was nighttime? You asked and made an audible noise of discomfort. Where's my mind, babe? But whatever. Let's just get back home. Sure. But do you mind if we take the long way? I turned to face her and raised an eyebrow. The long way? Through the park. Is that on our way? She nodded. I can show you how to get there from here. It's really just taking the scenic route. It can hardly be considered a long way. I believe you. I smiled. Let's go then. I nodded my head for it. Wonderful. She smiled and took the lead. Once again. But I think I'm starting to get used to it. Just allow it, maybe you're into more dominant women. In the light, I feel like honestly the light looks a bit more beautiful because I really like the cherry blossoms. I like the colors here. A lot. Are these... I don't think these are cherry blossoms, I think they're just pink leaves. I'm not too sure. And we were back. And as I breathed in the park air, that feeling came back. It was different from last time. The vibe of nighttime is very different from the vibe of daytime. It is. But the feeling was still there. That feeling of relaxation. The feeling of the struggles falling away. Granted, there weren't many that had made themselves known. But I finally felt like me and Yuri were on the date we wanted to be on. No food, no fighting about payments, no Natsuki, no literature club, no Monica, just me and Yuri. My Yuri. The girl of my dreams. The girl that I love. I felt my heart skip a beat. Do I really? Do I love her? I turned my head to look at her. Look at that face. Beautiful. Yeah. It's true, huh? Damn it, why do I keep stuttering in my own head? I'm in love with Yuri. There. I uttered a breath that I didn't know I was holding. That wasn't so bad. If anything, I'm relieved. No, the only question is, do I tell her? Well, of course I do. I have to one of these days. But when? How soon is too soon? Obviously now is too soon. But it's been, what, 2 weeks? We've had one date. I'm thinking way too far ahead. You can't tell her that you love her already. But if there's one thing I'm pretty damn sure on, it's that I'm not jumping ahead in my assessment of love. Love is a fickle thing. And I think I've loved Yuri, well, probably since the day before the festival, when she came over to visit. When we spent all that time together, I just felt a connection. And subconsciously I knew. And I acted on it. I went out of my way to comfort her, to worry about her. And when I was supposed to be having a good day, even when I was supposed to be having a good day, I couldn't ignore her. She was always in the back of my mind. I think I've always wanted her to be mine. And I'm really glad I did. I turned to Yuri. Even if, along the way, there were some roadblocks, hiccups, I really couldn't be happy with this destination. Hey, Yuri? Yes? My mouth felt dry. Nothing is stupid. Alright then. Damn it. Come on, John. I groaned as I flung open the door. Home sweet home. God, my back is killing me. I muttered and walked inside. Would you like me to take a look at it? Yuri asked. I shook my head. Nah, it's just a cramp. I'll be fine. I walked into the kitchen and pulled open the fridge. I don't know why I did. Maybe just wanted to check if the ham had been stolen. Nope. Still there. In all its meaty glory. Dinner's probably gonna be around 18 o'clock. Sometimes it feels weird to not say o'clock. I also enjoy it. I always add like the behind the numbers. Behind the actual time. It's gonna take a little bit to cook. I grabbed it and removed it from the fridge. And closed it. I almost said and closed it with my eyes. I closed with my backside and turned to face Yuri. So, if you want, you can either stay here or go back to your place until it's nearly ready. I said, even though I knew exactly what her answer was going to be. What? Why would I leave? I turned away and decided to mess with her a little more. Because you hate spending time with me. She gasped. That's not true. She came up behind me and wrapped me in a hug. You know I love to spend time with you. You're one of my favorite people to be around. Am I cooler than books? Pushing it. I chuckled and she giggled. You'd kissed me on the head. My cheeks flushed and she pulled away. I'll be out in the living room. If you need me, that's where I'll be. I nodded and you walked out of the kitchen. Okay, let's see here. Preheat oven 2 and one more, finally 2, and we're good. The ham is in the oven and it's cooking nicely. I put a hand towel back on the rack and walked out into the living room. The television was off. Reason being, Yuri was reading a book. Probably didn't want a distraction. I sat down on the couch next to her. You mind if I ask what you were eating? She smiled at me, seemingly glad I asked the question. I'm always happy to share what I'm reading. So, this book is called The Collector. It's about As Yuri began to tell me about her book, I listened intently. And I was happy to do so. I had some time to kill after all. Sorry. Time sure flies by quick when you're listening to your girlfriend talk about her favorite thing. I said If the music cut out there for a moment, it's because I didn't want to include that ungodly noise I made. I'm sorry. It might be a bit jarring, but I'll try to make it a bit fade in and fade out to not make it as, cut off. If I'm doing it. Depends on how clearly you can hear that. I just choked on my own spit. I set a plate down on the table, that of which held many slices of a carved ham. Yeah, I carved my own ham. I know, I will. I sat down and looked across the table. Wait a second, you know what, I'll need to quickly note that down, that I need to look at the noise. Enjoyed the music for so long, although it's very frequently playing. Done. I sat down and looked across the table. Do you say grace? She shook her head. No. Do you? I shook my head. Well then let's eat. That's what that means. Of course. You grabbed a piece of ham, and I grabbed one as well. Oh boy, this actually looks pretty good. I served myself some mashed potatoes and took a sip of my water. Let's do this! But first, I stared intently at Yuri as she cut through her piece of ham. With a practiced delicacy, might I add. She did say she liked knives, but that's not important. Yuri brought the fork in her mouth. But she stopped right before. Is there something on my face? No, he just wants to see you eat. What? I snapped back. Oh no! I just wanted to see if you'd enjoy it or not. That's all. Oh well. I'm sure it'll be great. She stuck the piece of food in her mouth. And I was right. Oh, thank God. This is really good, John. Glad to hear it. I spent a lot of time on it, so I'm glad it's not gonna go to waste. She nodded. I can understand that she'll swallow it all down. I can understand that. But you have nothing to worry about. She took another bite. I'm not sure any of it is going to go to waste. I laughed. Me and you continued to enjoy the dinner I had cooked. But it happened again. You ate more food than I did. And then a few minutes after dinner, I'll be right back. She went to the bathroom. Now, going to the bathroom is a normal thing. And maybe I'm thinking it. But last time I walked by her after dinner bathroom visits, she was puking to the toilet. And it made me scared. This made me scared. If she does have a stomach issue, I should know about it. I'll take the proper precautions. I'll make later meals. Even if to cook 2 dinners, I'll do it. But I closed my eyes and sighed. Yuri is not going to tell me anything. I need to eventually approach her about it. But not today. It's Christmas. I can't do it today. Honestly, Christmas is not a special day for me at all, so honestly I kind of can't exactly fully relate to this feeling. There are so many bad things I've seen happening during Christmas. Once deciding to approach an issue would probably not feel like anything strange to me. I can't ruin this holiday for my mad rantings. Fury's completely fine. I made a big deal out of nothing. But if she isn't, then I most likely just ruined the holiday by bringing up something she's self-conscious about. It's a lose-lose. I get that. To a certain degree, at least. I understand it enough so I can understand that he would like to bring it up at a later point. So I might as well, hey hun, snap out of it. Oh yeah? Do you think I could have the recipe for that, huh? I really like that. Oh sure! It's not too complicated, so I could send it to you over text. Lovely. Yuri walked away and into the living room. For now, I might as well just play it safe and natural. Chapter 6. Rosy Complexion. It's been a little under 2 months since I've started dating Yuri. February, the season of loving. I just noticed the heart in history and my attention was drawn to it and I think it's adorable. There are hearts everywhere. I didn't notice it when I was looking earlier. And I think the little eyes are also like mini hearts. Adorable. Ironic, given I'm yet to tell the love of my life how I really feel about her. I just realized, yeah, why February might be the season of loving. Maybe because of like Valentine's Day. It's usually in February, right? I'm not too sure. Yet to even kiss her. Why can't I just man the hell up and do it? Shut up with the manning up! Sorry. Those are phrases that I hate. Seriously. God, I felt like a fool. Monica said she loved you a billion times, and not once did you say it back. But that was because it didn't feel right. But this time it does feel right. It feels like the next proper step I should be taking. The thing your heart tells you to do. So why? Why couldn't I just do it? It was 3 words. Maybe even just an action. I was so close to doing both on Christmas. I nearly had the balls. But no. I chickened out. God, you're such a loser. Can't even tell your girlfriend you love her. What can you do in life if not that? I wonder if this is like part of the character development he's going through. Too scared to tell your girlfriend about your feelings. Are you gonna be too scared to tell the cops if she gets killed? Ugh. I sat on bed and ran my hand through my hair. Getting a little dark, but... I sighed. I need a drink. I moved the blanket off my body and slung out of the cold, heavy embrace of my blanket. I wonder if there's like foreshadowing. I opened my door and walked out into the halls. Damn, it's dark out here. Wish I had turned on the lights. Oh well, too late now. Though, when I arrived in the kitchen, it was too dark to see at all. I flipped on the lights. I flipped on the lights and held up my hand, fruitlessly trying to block out the light. Trying to block out this salt on my Korea? I don't know. I know what it means, but I don't know what it is. How to say it. I slowly blinked away the fuzziness and walked over to the counter. I opened up my mother's wine fridge. I slowly closed it. Forget that. I walked over to my fridge. Flinging it open, I checked my inventory. Deli meat, lettuce. Oh, I'm out of ketchup. Water, mug, root beer, or MUG, I don't know, juice. I grabbed a juice box. You're 17, John. This is better for you than alcohol. Juice in general can be nice if you find the right juice for you. And hell, these taste better too. No straw though. And this was the last one. Shoot. I grabbed a knife from the drawer to poke a hole into the top. Tightly and stupidly, might I add, I decided to be cool and quickly stabbed the top. Like a ninja. Only problem... Ow! Son of a bitch! I dropped a knife and the juice, which subsequently spilled all over the place. But whatever. I cut my damn hand. Taking a deep breath, I surveyed the damages. I sliced right through my palm. Ow! It wasn't that deep. It probably didn't need stitches. But I still felt like an idiot. I needed to disinfect it though. And the kit, has she replaced it yet? Time to take the smart approach for once in this. Night of stupidity. I open up the cabinet under my sink and pull out the first aid kit. I probably need more than a band-aid. And I wonder if she has replaced it yet, but I feel like it wouldn't be brought up if it was. A bandage seemed more fitting. Some would probably be concerned, but I can't just tell them I cut my... Some would probably be concerned, but I can't just tell them I cut my hand on a piece of glass or something. Just admit you were stupid. I like to point out when I'm stupid. Open the case and grab the peroxide. After carefully dabbing it, violently pouring it out onto my hand over the sink, I reached for the bandages. Where are the bandages? I searched through the box, high and low, low and high, anterior and posterior, but they were gone. I flipped the box over. Contents: 5 ml bottle of hydrogen peroxide, 25 band-aids, individual, package of baby wipes, roll of gauze bandaging. Oh, there it is. Roll of gauze bandaging. So where the hell is it? Did I use all of it? That can't be the case. I never use bandages. And especially not these ones. Usually if I need a medical kit, I use the one in my personal bathroom. This is so weird. Maybe I injured myself in the kitchen? No, that can't be it. I would remember if it was bad enough to need bandages. The only other person that could have used them is Yuri. Yuri is quite clumsy, but she's also a crier. I would have had to put the bandages on her myself. That just leaves Yuri. Yuri. Did she get hurt and not tell me? She doesn't have to, of course. But if injury required bandages, especially my bandages, I feel like it would be important to mention. Yeah, especially since, like, if you still have, like, bandages in your personal bathroom, go quickly up there and get them, I guess. I'm not mad at her or anything, but I hope she's okay. Maybe I should give her a call. Just to word of my word, as I thought this, I had looked over at the clock. 2 a.m. Hell no. She's definitely sleeping. I don't want to wake her up, especially over something as menial as some bandages. It was probably me being an idiot in the kitchen or something. Ugh. I ran a hand through my hair for the second time that night. I was pretty damn tired. I should get back to bed. I put my hand up to my nose and massaged it but upon getting blood all over my nose, I remembered why I couldn't go to bed just yet. My hand was bleeding all over the place, but it's so late.